Okay, today I'm going to carry on with chapter 5.1, some examples. But before we carry on with chapter 5.1, I will ask you to actually refer to page 120 of your textbook. Okay, there's a formula there. Copy out this formula. A plus b to the power of n equals to a to the power of n. Okay, plus n choose 1, a to the power of n minus 1, b to the power of 1, plus n choose 2, a to the power of n minus 2, b square, plus dot dot dot. Okay, this is a general term, then plus b to the power of n. This formula is actually given, in your formula sheet. If you notice, there's actually a formula, on page 116. There are two formulae there. Actually, just don't use that formula. This is the general formula where a can take on any values. So you must as well just use this formula. This is given in your formula sheet. Without much further ado, let's look at 5.1. Today I'll present to you two questions. And the two questions are 4a and 4d first. So let's start with 4a, of exercise 5.1. 4a. If you notice, right, 4a, they say that expand the first four terms of the expansion 1 plus x to the power of 10. 1 plus x to the power of 10. Before we even begin anything, let's identify what is a. A in this case is 1, b is x in this case. So we identify the a term and b term. And let's start. We apply the formula. A is 1, 1 to the power of n. In this case, n is actually 10. So I write my first term, 1 to the power of 10, plus n choose 1. 10 choose 1. A to the power of, this one is a is 1 to the power of n minus 1. So now it's 10 minus 1. So here is 1 to the power of 9. And we have b to the power of, not b, sorry, we have x to the power of 1. So you notice what's happening here is that the 1, power 10, power 9, next term will be power 8, power 7, power 6. And for the b term, right, here there's no b term. Next term is x to the power of 1. Next term will be x to the power of 2, x to the power of 3. So as the a term, the power is decreasing. For the b term, the power will be increasing. So for the next term, it will be 10 choose 2, a to the power of 10 minus 2, which is 8, and b, which is x in this case, square. So you see the power 1 to the power 9 to the power of 8, x to the power 1, x to the power 2. So as the a term, the power decreases, the b term, the power will be increasing. For the next term, 10 choose 3, 1 to the power of 7. And then we have x to the power of 3 plus dot dot dot. I will stop here because they only say that they want the first four terms. So I have first term, second term, third term, and fourth term. Now if you just use your calculator, 10 choose 1 is 10, 1 to the power of 9 is 1, and here will be x, like this. 10 choose 2 is, use calculator, 45 times 1 times x squared, so here will be x squared, plus 10 choose 3. In this case, 10 choose 3, you just have to key into your calculator. What you get is 120. You get 120 times 1 times x cubed plus dot 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 dot. The plus dot 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 is just to show you that there are more terms after this. You simplify everything, get 1 plus 10x plus 45x squared plus 120 x cubed plus dot 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 dot. For 5.1, right, the a term is always 1, but later on you can see in 5.2 the a term will be a number. Now let's start with question 4d. For 4d, similarly, they want you to expand 1 minus half x cubed to the power of 16. In this case, if you notice your a term, in this case, your a is equals to 1, and your b is actually equals to negative half x cubed. In this case, you have to actually take into account the negative, so it's negative half x cubed. So what is happening here is this. First we have a, okay, based on the formula that we had above, a to the power of 1, a to the power of n, 1 to the power of n, which is 16, okay, plus 16 choose 1. A to the power of 16 minus 1 is 15. Now b, be careful, b is negative half x cubed to the power of 1. So you see the a term decreasing power while the b term is increasing power, plus 16 choose 2, 1 to the power of 14. 16 minus 2 is 14, and we get negative half x cubed, alright, to the power of 2, plus 16 choose 3, 1 to the power of 13, negative half x squared to the power of 3. Okay, can? So the next step, 1 to the power of 16 is still 1. 16 choose 1, okay, here you get 16, okay, times 1. Negative half x cubed to the power of 1 is just negative half x cubed. Can? Okay, for next part here is 16 choose 2. 16 times, so it's 8 times 15, 80, is 120. Okay, 1 to the power of 14 is 1. Here's where you must be careful. Negative half square gives you positive 1/4. Okay, x cubed square. So if you open bracket, by laws of indices, 3 times 2 becomes x to the power of 6. Now here, negative half square, negative half times negative half is positive 1/4. X to the power of 3 square gives you x to the power of 6. Now here, for the next term we have 16 choose 3. Okay, so let me key that in the calculator. We have 16 choose 3, which gives me 560. Then 1 to the power of 13 is still 1. Negative half cube. Negative half cube, if you key into your calculator, okay, negative half. Okay, let me put bracket there. Negative half to the power of 3 is negative 1 over 8. So I get negative 1 over 8 x cubed, okay, times 3. Okay, x cubed to the power of 3 gives me x to the power of 9. By laws of indices, x to the power of 3 times 3 is x to the power of 9. Then you start to simplify. 1. 16 times negative half gives me negative 8 x cubed. 120 times 1/4 is 30. So here is plus 30 x to the power of 6. Here is 560 times negative 1/8. So just take a calculator. 560 times negative 1 over 8 is negative 70. Negative 70. Now there you can see x to the power of 9. Plus dot 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 dot. Okay, and that concludes my first two examples for 5.1.